Now, ladies and gentlemen, picture yourself in the summertime of 2022, playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive on a Tuesday afternoon, going into the evening. It starts raining a little bit. It's also mid-round of your game during the CT-sided pistol. You're the first one to go. And well, you have your feet kicked up on your desk with your chair leaned all the way back. And you see the USPS print stream. Fast forwarding in the game, you're in the same situation. You see the M4A1S print stream, the AK Asimov, the M4A4 Asimov, and of course an M4A1S Hyper Beast. Some fan favorite skins in the CSGO community, and I bet you've never given some thought on how a CSGO skin is created. Well, in today's video, I got you the whole in-depth guide on how CSGO skins are created, and it's a lot more interesting than you think. And this, of course, is the definitive guide of the weapon finish, a CSGO book. Maybe one of the first of all time. If it's not the first, well, it might be the greatest. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at some things I found in this book that is very, very interesting, especially from someone who doesn't really pay attention or look at CSGO skins very much. And well, before we do so, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and of course subscribe for weekly Counter-Strike Global Offensive content. And here's a quick word from our video sponsor, Skins Monkey. Now, today's video sponsor is, of course, Skins Monkey. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with what Skins Monkey is, they are currently the biggest growing Counter-Strike Global Offensive trading marketplace for skins, which is absolutely amazing, with great fees as well. Let's just say you guys have some skins you're really not feeling anymore. Skins Monkey is the best way to trade them. In this trade, to be exact, I actually profited 18 cents, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but considering it's a trading website, it's actually very, very good. Sign up today to get up to a $5 bonus, which is very nice. And if you've never used the website before, well, you can use my code MANDO, go up to the top right, you claim that bonus, and if you guys want to deposit with real life cash or crypto, you get a 25% deposit bonus, which is very, very nice. So the very first thing I have to address, I'm not sponsored by these people. They did not send me this book. This book is actually able to be bought off of Amazon right now, at least in the United States, which is very cool. Right now, I'm wearing my Garden Gloves Rouge, which are very cool. I hope they get added to CSGO very soon. That's what we'll be looking at for this book today. About a week ago, I saw Valve and CSGO on Twitter retweet the company who made this book and the people who made this, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna check it out. It's on Amazon, like 2-day delivery, so that's right, I bought it, and there we go, and it showed up. And as you can see, I have a lot of sticky notes at the top that I pretty much wrote down for videos like this one, and maybe for the future, some very cool things. So it's a very cool front page of the book. The back cover is nothing crazy, just kind of shows you a little prologue of what you can kind of expect, and that's really about it. The book is pretty good quality, and I really have never really given any thought to checking out a CSGO skin, and this is the first time I've ever made a video like this. This is probably going to be a little awkward. So as we go, the definitive guide of the weapon finish, which is really, really interesting. This is also able to be bought online, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty cool. So it has all the contents on each page, which is pretty interesting. Pretty cool thing right there. One of the first things I took a look at, and you can actually read in this book as well, is on the very first page, you get to see how a weapon skin is actually crafted and created, which I think this is so cool. So I never knew this. I don't know much about making CSGO skins, so that's why if I judge somebody on a CSGO skin they make, I'm sorry. But hopefully this knowledge will help myself better understand how much time and effort went into it. And well, how they do it is, as you see down here, these are all the parts of an MP9. They take apart the MP9 machine gun and practically paint it, which that is crazy. They have to paint every individual piece on its own on a different file, I guess, and they put it all on here, and then it's created how it's created, if that makes any sense. So a lot of work just goes into that right there. That's not including designs, which that's kind of crazy. Next up is this page, and it says different mapping techniques for different patterns. And well, there's 3 main things on how a CSGO skin is made, and really 3 core patterns people use when making a skin. As you go over here, apparently the very first one. So the first one obviously being custom patterns, which this is something like the AK Bloodsport, as it says right there. And apparently, after reading this, that is the most common use of a pattern making a CSGO skin. So most of your fan favorite CSGO skins, and just fan favorites in general, are made using this base pattern, which is pretty interesting. Number 2 is randomized patterns. So this is something like the metal flowers. So that's pretty interesting, all the way down at the bottom, which now that I look at it, now that I think about it, it looks like it's been used in a few CSGO skins besides that one as well. And of course, the third one up on this list is randomized RGB patterns, which is pretty cool. Something like the Lab Rat, which is Pretty interesting. It's not a skin a whole lot of people really remember at this point in time, but obviously it was the very first MP5 skin. Now, next up on our list is something I found very interesting and something you'd probably only find in this book, at least for the average Joe playing CS who likes skins. And that is, of course, some patterns are reused in the exact same pattern, if that makes any sense. So something like the op-pa, for an example, the pattern is reused and like flipped in a different orientation, vertical, horizontal, maybe squished together a little more in some different parts of the weapon. But for the most part, it's the exact same little square. They use one square of the weapon and it's just covered the entire thing, which that actually makes a lot of sense and it's also very interesting. Another cool fact about CSGO skins, apparently, I don't know anything about this, but of course, here's another look at how CSGO skins are made, what you have to paint exactly when you're making a skin. But apparently offsetting a CSGO skin when you're making it in one of these programs, I don't know if that's Photoshop or something else, we'll check at the very end. But apparently this is what a neo-noir can look like if you offset it. So you guys could probably imagine, you probably don't really want to offset a CSGO skin. It's probably not the best thing you can really do for it. Obviously that would really change up how it looks. And I don't know why, that actually looks pretty cool. Maybe we could see that in the future, possibly. Now, next up is something actually really interesting that makes a lot of sense that I don't think a lot of people really know. And that, of course, CSGO skins are very limited to what they can look like and what they can be due to Valve's engine of CSGO. The original Source engine came out in 2004, and that's what CSGO's version right now is built off of. So Source 2 is going to fix a lot of this. But right now, since they can't do a lot with CSGO skins, and of course, to save on processing power for your CPU and your graphics card, they do this thing called core baking. Now, this is what it means. Essentially, since you can have a whole lot of flashy things on a weapon or something very dynamic like you have in Call of Duty, they have to have it so the lighting affects the weapon differently. And you've seen this multiple times in game, and also 3D drawings. There's a certain Mac 10, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it looks like it has a controller for the original Nintendo on it, or the Atari. And obviously that's not an actual 3D model, that's just a drawing on the weapon itself, which I think looks absolutely amazing, and that really makes a whole lot of sense. It says right here, because CSGO does not allow changes for in-mesh geometry, artists can instead bake normal maps to create the illusion of mesh with added depth. So I guess what that means is they pretty much have to make it look a different way than it's actually looking for them at that moment in time, if that makes any sense. Every single skin that looks 3D, or that even kind of comes close to that, is all an illusion. It's all based on lighting and different things they can use pretty much because of CSGO's engine, which is actually really interesting. And that's probably the biggest thing, as well as offsetting for CSGO skins in the creation of them anyway. So not quite at the end of the video yet, but these are some of the programs you can use for making CSGO skins, which is actually pretty cool. Now, these are very expensive. Some of these are free. A lot of them are subscriptions, which I hate that they are subscriptions now and that you can't just buy them outright, but there are some, and some of these are extremely expensive. ZBrush is apparently $895 just to buy it outright, or you can get a subscription for it. And apparently this is for digital sculpting and 3D painting, which obviously you'd probably need that for some sort of CSGO skin creation, it sounds like. Like I said, this book is just full of surprises. It shows you how skins are pretty much made from the ground up, and if this is something you're interested in or maybe wanting to make CSGO skins yourself one day, this is definitely something you should just check out. Or you want to support CSGO creators in general, this is something to go for. And maybe you're not a huge reader, but this might help you read a little more, for an example. Another problem with CSGO's engine, and pretty much something that's really holding us back, is of course pearlescent effects. And we've seen this a lot in CSGO recently with some of the newer skins and some of the more zoomer skins, if that makes any sense. And something like that is of course the Discotheque, one of my favorite Mac 10s in the game right now. Kind of similar to the Fade, but this is kind of a better version of the Fade right now. And Wear and Fong, so Pearlescence for an example. This is on many different skins besides the Discotheque, but this is the one they use as an example, and probably the best one. Now, this of course is 3 different pictures of the Discotheque in 3 different ways. And of course, these are made off of pearlescence, but also hue. So there's different settings in the hue, I guess, when creators for skins make this. So when you reload, you have different lighting bouncing off your weapon. Let's just say you're in vents on Nuke, or in a place on a certain map like Long A on Dust 2, there's a lot of sun, maybe right outside Pit, there's quite a bit of sun. It's going to act and look a little differently than it would otherwise in a very dark place on the map, which is very, very cool. And I'm pretty sure this is on something like the Prince stream as well. Now this right here is pretty cool, and this pretty much shows you value and worth of the item and how do you know what it's worth. And also some pretty cool facts, of course, are scarcity. So right now in CSGO, there are a lot of skins that were available even a couple years ago, or maybe even a few months ago, that were pretty cheap or even available to the public just even on the Steam market. And now either one, they're not available, or they're two really, really expensive because they've been used in trade-up contracts. And they're not even that good or really good-looking skins. They're just used to trade up to something a lot better. You look at some of the skins people use to trade up for stuff to get to the Dragon Lore, it's absolutely garbage skins. And obviously they're very, very expensive because they're really rare. Everyone wants those to use in a trade up. So that can really affect the value of them in the future. So some pretty cool facts about the Doppler effect and Doppler finish inside of CSGO. This, of course, is a knife finish that is found in Prisma cases, Chroma cases, on a lot of those knives, which are fan favorites at this point in time. And of course, it shows you the different phases. Phase 1, the skin features 80% blue and 20% red. Phase 2, the skin features 20% blue and 80% red. Phase 3, the skin features 60% blue and 10% green, and of course 20% black, which that's usually the phase not a lot of people enjoy or really like at all. And if you really like blue, well, phase 4 is definitely the way to go with 80% blue and 20% black. It pretty much is all blue. But of course, what really is all blue is the Sapphire, and this is 100% blue. You have the Ruby up next, which is 100% red, and the Black Pearl, which is 100% black, which that is really cool, that it shows you the percentages of that. And of course, it shows you more about the Gamma Doppler, but I want to let you guys check that out yourself if this is something you're interested in. Now, one of the last things I want to check out for today's video is most likely something you'll only find in this book, and probably only ever heard this question or answer in this book specifically. And that is, of course, what percentage of skins are made with certain designs, which that is really, really cool. I don't know why. And of course, it shows the submissions, the number of them with certain different designs on here. So it says one solid color, 4,900. Hydrographic, okay, 11,000. 3 spray paint, 10,000. Anodized, the anodized navy, I guess, 439. And you kind of get the point going on forward here. And it says 7 custom paint job, 100,000 over here, which is just kind of crazy. And the gunsmith is 13,000. And of course, it shows you 2 little graphs at the bottom, which are really, really unique and awesome at that. And of course, that kind of concludes this book today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review of this book and a little in-depth of what maybe you could expect from a CSGO book if you've even given it thought, or maybe how a CSGO skin is made. Once again, not been paid by them, but I just want to do my best to support the CSGO community and CSGO scene. I think this is well worth the pickup of 25 bucks. And especially if you are interested in CSGO, maybe you want something to read or just something to look at while you're drinking your coffee in the morning. This is definitely the way to go. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are doing with this. Are you going to pick it up? Is this something you're going to be asking for Christmas? Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.